Our tour through the lives of this rich family provides a rare window into the height of European riches and influence, from venerable traditions to cutting-edge corporate empires. The complex web of riches and power, as well as the history that has molded the most prosperous families on the continent, is revealed by this investigation. Europe's legacy of Trillionaire's family, the interesting plot, explores the mysterious lives of the wealthiest family in Europe. The hidden histories that have contributed to their enormous riches and influence are revealed, highlighting the world of luxury and power behind closed doors. Let's move on. The Medici family possessed wealth that, by modern standards, would have made them actual trillionaires. Additionally, they virtually single-handedly established modern banking, funded the most notable artists of the Renaissance, and may have even contributed to the rise of Protestantism. In this video, let's take a look at their entire story as a combination of bankers, religious revolutionaries, and art enthusiasts. Ever wonder who controlled the Renaissance in Europe, controlling its development and determining its destiny's hand? Imagine a family with such influence that they could control the course of a continent as a whole. The Medicis emerged as Europe's unchallenged rulers from the center of Florence, Italy, and their power was broad. Not only were they the world's largest bankers, but they also controlled politics and produced 4 popes, and their fortune was on the same level as that of existing trillionaires. The Medicis not only possessed enormous riches, but they also utilized wealth to support the arts, raising renowned creators like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo and influencing European culture. They were the unseen hand controlling the course of the history of Europe. The Medici family initially set roots in the lush plains of Tuscany, which is where our story starts. They were only farmers in the beginning, cultivating the land and gathering its produce. Nonetheless, their journey to popularity would be greatly aided by their work ethic and ambition. The Medici saw opportunities to move from agricultural pursuits to the flourishing financial industry as the years went by. Considering that they had little prior expertise in the industry, it was a bold move. They were keen to take advantage of the potential that banking offered. The strategic moves. Thus, the founding of the Medici Bank at the beginning of the 14th century was a momentous shift in the Medici family's history. It did not succeed right away. During those early years, the family had to overcome several obstacles, such as gaining the trust of their customers and navigating a complex set of financial rules. But in the end, their persistence and excellent business sense paid off. The bank quickly established a reputation for dependability and creativity. It brought in new banking practices that were not common at the time, like lending money to the less fortunate. The Medici Bank progressively expanded to rank among the most significant financial organizations in Europe. It developed branches in numerous places, and its influence was felt much beyond Italy's boundaries. The Medici's rise to the top ranks of society was made possible by their ability to accumulate enormous wealth and authority through this network. This dynasty's modest beginnings serve as a reminder that even the weakest could be the most powerful with desire, diligence, and a little bit of creative thinking. The Medici family's astute strategic moves, of members like Cosimo de' Medici, hold the key to the way out. Cosimo, also known as Cosimo the Elder, was not happy with the family's banking empire. The powerful guilds and their leaders, who were in charge of the city's political devices, held the actual power. Realizing this, Cosimo started to strategically invest in these guilds, purchasing allegiances, influence, and eventually power. He was an expert at handling political situations. Cosimo's goals, however, didn't end there. Through strategically timed unions, the Medici family was also seeking to form alliances. They solidified their position in the higher classes of society by being married into powerful families. Later, Lorenzo de' Medici, Cosimo's grandson, would carry on the family's journey to prominence. Known as Lorenzo the Magnificent, he promoted the arts and brought Florence's best Renaissance brains. The power of Medici. The rise to prominence of the Medici family was not an easy one. It was a deliberate elevation through smart marriages, political alliances, and a deep awareness of the prevailing power dynamics. Through smart strategies and beneficial partnerships, the Medici family had successfully incorporated themselves into Europe's political landscape, bringing about a golden period that would become known as the Renaissance, affecting not only Florence, but the whole continent. Under Lorenzo's wise guidance, the Medici family turned Florence into a center of scholarship and culture. Names like Michelangelo, Botticelli, and Leonardo da Vinci were commonplace at the Medici court, where the Medici family's backing allowed their abilities to grow exponentially. Their works of art, which continue to enthrall us, emerged from their time. In the academic realm as well, they were pioneering individuals. They created universities and libraries so that the general populace might acquire knowledge. The renowned Medici Library developed into a gathering place for intellectuals. The father of modern science, Galileo Galilei, was able to make discoveries that would permanently change human understanding because of the sponsorship of the Medics in his work. The Medicis also had a significant role in the creation of the banking system, bringing with them cutting-edge techniques like letters of credit that transformed the world of commerce and trade. Every one of these projects demonstrated the Medici family's forward-thinking attitude and dedication to development. The downfall. However, the Medici family, once the pinnacle of power and wealth, found themselves on a downward spiral over time. This downhill trajectory was caused by a variety of circumstances. Let's start by talking about their political mistakes. The Medicis began to stumble in their political manipulation. As a result of their decisions, they found themselves offending powerful people and becoming politically isolated. They were no longer the hands that were controlling Europe, and their power declined. Next up is the economic challenges they faced. In the past, the Medicis were the forerunners of banking. However, as the years passed, they discovered that their situation was unsustainable. Their lavish lifestyles and careless money management started to destroy their savings. Their once burgeoning financial empire was beginning to show symptoms of crisis as their debts mounted. Then the disputes within the family. The Medicis represented a dynasty rather than a simple family. They also experienced their share of internal disagreement, just like any other dynasty. The family's unity began to erode due to power battles, betrayals, and inheritance disputes. The Medicis fell from becoming the aristocratic governing family to a collapsing family in a matter of generations. Their unity broke, their money vanished, and their influence declined. The legacy of the family. However, this was far from the conclusion of their story. Though the mighty Medici Empire was starting to fall apart, its hold on power would never die. They continued to shape the world. The Medici family was a pioneer in the financial industry, creating the modern banking system. Their creation of bills of exchange, which resemble modern checks, transformed trade. They opened branches all throughout Europe, establishing the global financial network that paved the way for the modern world economy. Master strategists, the Medicis were also in politics. Their clever diplomacy and skillful use of marriages and alliances for political ends established the foundation for current manipulative politics. They also supported education. The culture of promoting academic research and intellectual progress reflects the value placed on learning. The Medici family's significant influence on the arts is probably the most obvious example of their posterity. Once the Florentine magistrate's office, the Uffizi Gallery now holds one of the most important collections of Renaissance art in the world, a lasting reminder of the Medici family's devotion. In a similar vein, the Medici Chapel is an architectural wonder that houses the Medici family mausoleum, designed by Michelangelo personally. They employed art, education, and fortune as tools to influence society because they understood the power collaboration of these factors. Their vision continues to be experienced across the ages as they recognize the potential in people, concepts, and the environment. The fact that the Medici family's empire is still felt today is evidence of their enduring legacy. Although the Medicis are long since gone, scholars and archaeologists alike are still fascinated with their tales. Now for the Medici Project, a large-scale project that was initiated in the early 2000s. By utilizing contemporary technologies to examine the artifacts left behind by this influential dynasty, this study aims to uncover the physical secrets of the Medici family. Every find, whether they be skeletal remains or burial objects, provides a fresh window into the Medici's life. Archaeologists and historians have been able to learn more about the Medici's way of life, health, and habits by examining their remains. For example, arthritis symptoms found in the skeletal remains reveal that the Medicis were not exempt from the diseases of the day, even in spite of their money and influence. Additionally, lead particles were discovered in the bones, indicating that they used lead-glazed ceramics, which was a luxury at the time, but an undetected murderer. The eating habits of the Medici have also been clarified by the Medici Project. Their prosperity and authority were demonstrated by the isotopes of their bones, which indicated that they had a diet rich in marine resources. It's noteworthy that the Medicis consumed a lot of fish and seafood. However, it goes beyond the tangible remnants. A multitude of relics, ranging from elaborate jewelry to exquisitely wrought burial garments, have also been unearthed by the Medici Project. Each artifact tells a tale about the lavish lifestyle the Medici family had. The discovery of private artifacts that provide a close-up view of the Medici family's everyday existence is arguably the most intriguing part of this undertaking. These relics, which range from exquisitely crafted hairbrushes to intimate letters, provide a compelling portrait of the Medicis as people as well as a formidable dynasty. The Medicis are publishing fresh chapters as they continue to disclose their secrets. Who knows what further mysteries wait to be unearthed as the Medici project moves forward? In reality, who were the Medicis? Their emergence from the modest origins of the Italian banking industry made them a power to be contended with. Their narrative is an engrossing tale of ambition, influence, and power. The Medicis rose from humble beginnings as moneylenders in the 14th century to the highest position of authority, where they ruled Florence for centuries. Their rule revealed not only their political power, but also their financial might, their ability to form wise collaborations, and their skill at navigating the unstable political climate of the day. However, the Medici narrative had its share of depressing moments, just like any great drama. Their influence started to decline in the 17th century as a result of several miscalculations, misguided endeavors, and growing hostilities. The once powerful family was compelled to leave their city, became involved in conflicts, and ultimately saw the end of their magnificent dynasty. Nonetheless, the Medici's legacy lives on. In the contemporary world, the contributions they make to art, science, as well as culture are still relevant. They left behind a wealth of artwork and architectural masterpieces, established the foundation for contemporary finance, and turned Florence into a Renaissance powerhouse. Even after they pass away, archaeologists are still fascinated by their remains because they provide fascinating windows into their pasts. The story of the Medici family serves as a striking reminder that influence is just as important to power as financial gain. Their capacity to use their wealth to influence politics, the arts, along society serves as a lesson in the complex nature of power. The Medici family had both highs and lows in their career. Nonetheless, their story of inspiration is their ability to rebuild from the ruins of their own failure and their adaptable spirit. It's a tale of dedication in the face of hardship, a quality that's just as relevant now as it was back in the 15th century. We can all learn from the philosophy of promoting creativity and pushing the limits of human comprehension and understanding. The tale of the Medici family also imparts to us the value of vision. They invested in works of art and architecture that could endure for generations because they had eyes bigger than their own. They were aware of the importance of creating a lasting impression. Finally, the Medicis is a warning about the dangers of unrestrained desire and power. Their tale serves as a warning that authority without responsibility can result in collapse, a lesson that is especially pertinent given the state of society and politics today. Thus, the story of the Medicis is fundamentally more than a tale from the past. The story of the Medicis is a powerful, passionate, and widely influential voyage through time. However, time marches on regardless of how powerful a dynasty may be. The Medici's legacy lives on, despite their decline. I'd like to remind you to share your opinions regarding the power of Medics as we come to the end of our tour of the mysterious world of the Medicis. Hang on with our channel to explore the world of wealth. Let's meet again with our next video.